Hey there, my name is Kat. Welcome to my yoga classes. If you've never taken one of my classes before, welcome. And if you are excited that I'm filming again and you've been waiting for these classes to come back, then welcome back. I did take a brief pause to stop filming because I am pregnant. That is my update for those of you who don't already know. And I'm telling you that mostly just because in my classes from here on out, you might see some changes, some modifications, or the classes just might feel a little bit different than they used to. So that's why they're different. That's why I wasn't here for a while, but I'm back now. So welcome. And as always in my classes, take them at your own pace, make them harder, make them easier, take breaks, use them at your leisure, share them with your friends. And if you're enjoying these classes, then like, share, subscribe, do all those things that you're supposed to do on the internet. And thanks for being here. Namaste. Today, whenever you're ready to settle in, we'll start with our meditation as always. Sitting up nice and tall, finding length in our spine and a heaviness through our sit bones. And allow the eyes to close whenever it feels comfortable. And if you're arriving on your mat from a busy day or between work, then it might be hard to quiet the mind. But there are some things that we can do to help. Let's breathe together so that we can try to clear our mind into a little bit more space of peace and quiet. Let's start by exhaling. Exhale all the air. Good. Take an inhale, followed by a slow exhale. You can do these through the mouth or the nose, doesn't matter. Again, breathing in through the nose or mouth. And out. Once again, breathing in and out. Now take a few more breaths on your own. For some folks, it helps to count the counts of the breath in and out. For others, it's too distracting. It might feel better to focus on the sensation in the body of the breath, or just noticing it. Things like length and depth. And as you breathe, paying a bit of attention to the body, making sure that you're not squeezing or holding anything. You can let the belly be soft. Let the shoulders relax. Now we'll start to slowly move the body. You can keep the eyes closed or open them anytime, but gently let the head fall to the right. We'll stretch the sides of the neck. Just letting the head be heavy towards the right side, maybe even moving slightly, encouraging the ear more back towards the shoulder or the chin more towards the chest. And continue to breathe. Gently let the chin fall down towards the chest. And then pull the head back into neutral. Interlace the hands behind the head. Sit up nice and tall. Keep this upright sensation in the chest as you gently let the chin fall towards the chest. So instead of letting the spine round and kind of slumping over, just adding a little bit of weight to the back of the neck stretch, kind of keeping the stretch more in the upper shoulder back area. And now from here, you can let this continue deeper. You can allow the spine to round, allow the chin to kind of start dropping further and the head to drop further. This will change the location of the stretch a bit. Keeping the weight of the hands, if it feels okay, just kind of gently turn the head right and left. Not super far, maybe just like an inch to the left, an inch to the right. Just kind of swiveling and feeling the back of the neck. And then bring it to stillness. Take the hands away from the head. Once again, bring the head back into neutral. And then let the head fall to the left. Stretch the right side of the neck this time. The same thing as before, maybe small movements forward and back, kind of feeling the different positions of the neck. Good. Gently bring the head back into neutral. From here, take both palms towards me, spread the fingers, and just take the hands up and down. And today we'll work on a lot of upper body stuff. So we'll work on warming up the wrists, the fingers, upper body, shoulders, and everything. Good. Then make your hands into tight fists, draw some circles. Good. Gently take the hands to the tops of the shoulders, draw some nice big circles with the elbows. And make sure to reverse those circles as well. Good. And from here, take the hands out in front of you, but bending at the elbows. So with a 90-degree bend, so almost like you're in dolphin or forearm plank on the ground. Spread the fingers really strong. Pretend you're pushing against this invisible wall that you're up against here. So a little bit of activation through the shoulders. Good. Now try to keep the hands where they are. Just draw your elbows towards each other. This will feel like a lot of resistance, and your elbows don't have to go super far to feel it. Just breathe here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release this for a moment. Do a few rolls of the shoulders up and back. And then again, bring the arms into that same position. Good. Now, same thing, bring the elbows towards each other, hands away, but just try to lift the elbows up now. So we're really getting into the lats as well. Breathe here, 10. Oh man, my shoulders. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, that is harder than it looks. Okay, do a few more rolls of the shoulders up and back. Good. That's a good, it's just a warm up somehow, right? It's harder when you're actually using your body weight. All right, let's do the same 2 drills one more time just to further this warm up here. So 90-degree angle, keep the elbows level here and then draw them together. Again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax for a moment, shoulder rolls. And then final time here, 90-degree angle, elbows together, elbows a little bit up. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep drawing the elbows together and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good. All right, from here, find your way into a tabletop position. So on all fours, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Good. Now from here, turn your fingertips to point out to the outer edges of the mat, and then just take yourself and rock side to side. And then twist so that the eyes of the elbows are facing in towards each other. That's kind of that inner spot by the elbow on the inner side. Kind of feel that into the forearms and the wrists a bit. Good. Bring that to stillness. If it feels safe on your wrists and body, turn your fingertips to point back towards your knees. If that's too intense, an alternative stretch, of course, is to just draw the fingers back, shooting the wrist forward. So that's your alternative, switching whenever you feel ready. But if you're able to come into this position, then do so. And gently sit the hips back. It can even just be an inch or two. It doesn't have to be super far. Just increasing that stretch. Keep spreading the fingers. And breathe here. Maybe a little wiggle left and right, kind of just feeling how that stretches the wrists and forearms. And of course, if this is too intense, then don't wiggle or move here at all. Just stay put. We'll stay here for about 5 more breaths. If you're doing the alternative stretch, then of course switch now. Good. All right, gently release this. Sit back onto the heels for a moment, peeling the palms up and just shaking them out. Good. All right, from here, come back into your tabletop position. From our tabletop position, walk your hands a little forward and sink into your puppy. But instead of letting your heart melt to the ground and creating a back bend, keep your core engaged and see if you can find a long spine. So we're kind of active through the shoulders. A good way to think about this is like it's just like a downward facing dog. The only difference is you're not with the feet, you're not using the feet here. So instead of letting the arch come and the belly and heart sink, pull the belly towards the ribs and engage the body. So really press those palms into the ground. Nice big activation through the full body here. Take 5 breaths. Staying super active in the core. Take 1 more breath here. And then exhale, come back into your tabletop position. And from here, just kind of draw some shoulders with the circles. So think about letting your chest kind of sink towards the ground a little bit and then pushing the ground away. So there's 2 positions here, chest sinking to the ground or pushing through the palms, chest away from the ground. So with that in mind, just kind of draw some circles with the shoulder joints. Almost kind of reminds me of something like a train would make with its wheels, like that kind of a shape. Just kind of rolling the shoulders up and back, just like a shoulder roll as well. Make sure to reverse those circles as well. Good. And then come to stillness once again. All right, from here, come to downward facing dog, hips up and back. Feel free to bend the knees, maybe pedal it out, taking one heel to the ground and the other back and forth. If you were in my class last night, oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but I can feel my hamstrings right now. Just take a few breaths here. Good. Whenever you're ready, come to stillness. Look towards the hands. Gently walk both feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Lengthen the spine and the legs. And exhale, fold. Take some space between your feet, about hip width distance. Grab opposite elbows. Let your head be heavy. Crown of the head towards the ground. Just kind of sway it outside to side here. If it's too intense to straighten the legs, you can bend them. All right, release the arms, roll to standing. Let the head come up last, and once it does, reach up, extending up. Exhale the hands to prayer. All right. From here, we're going to warm up our body with some sun salutations. So come to the top of your mat, feet together. Be on this side. Good. Now inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold. Come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank and lower all the way or halfway. Use the knees if you need. Inhale, upwards or cobra. And then exhale to your down dog. Just take 3 breaths here. Spread the fingers, wrap your triceps towards the ground, and breathe. Either bent knees or straight legs. Good. Look towards the hands. Step or float to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Come up to standing, reach up. Exhale to prayer. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step or float back, lower through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upwards or cobra. And then exhale to your down dog. Again, 3 breaths here. Next, inhale, step or float to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale to prayer. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float back, lower. Inhale, upwards or cobra. Exhale to your down dog. 3 breaths. Next, inhale, come to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale to prayer. We've got 1 more round. Inhale it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float back, lower. Inhale, upwards or cobra. Exhale to your down dog. Good. 3 breaths here. From our downward facing dog, we're going to continue to warm up the shoulders. So as you inhale, come to your high plank. Take 2 breaths here. Good. Take it back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Hold it here 3 breaths. And if it ever becomes too much, modification is take the knees down, holding it here for 2 more breaths. Back to down dog, hips up and back. Come back to high plank, 4 breaths this time, holding it, core super engaged. Almost there. Hips up and back, down dog. Taking it here for a few breaths. Last time in your plank, hold your plank here for 5 breaths. Drop the knees if you need. Good. Last breath here. Once again, downward facing dog. Just one big breath. And exhale to a child's pose. Take the knees wide. Rest for a breath or two here. Good. Come back to tabletop. We're going to thread our needle. Starting with the right side, reach the right arm up. And as you exhale, dive that right arm under, coming to the right side of the head, really pressing the right back of that right arm into the ground. Just taking the left hand maybe in front of the face to encourage the twist of the chest open towards the sky. A lot of equal resistance here, so the back of the arm really presses into the ground. Good. Release it, come on back up, reach up with the right arm. And release, switch sides, take the left arm up. And exhale, thread that needle, dive it under. Same thing, back of the left hand presses into the ground. Right hand can be anywhere that's comfortable. Encourage it, that kind of twist open of the heart towards the sky with that right hand. Good. Come right back out of it, reach that left arm up. And then exhale, take it back down into your tabletop position. All right, from here, we're gonna work on building a little bit more of our upper body strength. So take yourself, walk a little bit back on your mat and walk your hands a little forward. So we're kind of in a tabletop, but we're a little wider than usual. So our hands are in front of our shoulders. Good. Now, from here, we're gonna bring our shoulders right over our wrists. So we're just gonna push our hips forward. So now our hips are in front of our knees. Now we're going to take some half chaturangas, so make this a little bit easier to start. Of course, you can modify these by making them harder by coming into plank. But to start, let's at least start here. So breathe in at the top. As you exhale, come into your chaturanga arms. So bend the elbows, keep them hugging in towards the side, and then inhale right back up. Good. Exhale, lower halfway, and back up. Good. Exhale, lower, and back up. Keep it going, lowering and raising at your own pace here. Taking little breaks as you need. Good. And if you're someone that has a lot of upper body strength and you know that this feels just like so easy and you're not getting challenged at all, at any point, please feel free taking this into your high plank. Good. We're almost done. Keep digging the fingertips in. If you're like me and your upper body has dwindled, then this is feeling hard. No problem. Just keep it going. We've just got 3 more. Like through quarantine, my upper body really suffered No climbing, no gym. Last one here. Good. All right, take a child's pose. Take a break. Maybe take the hands back towards the feet so the shoulders can really rest. Good. Gently come up right here. Walk yourself back into your tabletop position. And from our tabletop position, let's come down to our forearms. Good. Now, with our forearms on the ground, spread the fingers. And I want you to think about pushing your shoulders until they're until they're getting close to being in line with the wrists. So we're keeping our belly super engaged, our hips and our shoulders are leaning forward. They shouldn't feel too intense right now. We can make this more intense, but for now, let's start here. Keep pushing the ground away. Think about drawing the elbows towards each other, just energetically. They're not really going to move. We're just activating those muscles. Good. Hold here 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little bit of a break. Take the shoulders back into neutral. Good. We're going to do that again. Option, if you want, take this into your plank position and then you'll lean it forward. That's going to get significantly harder, so do whatever feels best. If that first one already felt challenging, then just repeat it. If it did not come up into that high plank, when you're ready, take the shoulders, hips forward, squeeze the core in towards the back body, hold 10, 9, elbows towards each other, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little child's pose. Take a break. All right. Let's give the arms a little break. We'll come back to them in a little bit. Come to downward facing dog, hips up and back. Good. As you inhale, reach your right leg up high. Bend your right knee, open the right hip. Draw some circles with that right knee. Just kind of waking up the hips a little. Good. Reach that right leg up high. Square the hips once again. Inhale. Exhale, step the right foot between the front two hands and come up into your high lunge. Do your best to straighten the back leg, a little bend in that front knee. Take the arms up when you're ready. And breathe. Take 5 breaths here. Good. Open up into your warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Heel to heel alignment. Breathe. Look towards that front hand. We're still really strong. The arms are strong. Think fingertips energized away from one another. Think that front knee out towards the outer right edge of the right foot. Good. Now from here, take both hands, spin them down to the ground, framing your front foot. Step your right foot back, come into your high plank. Now from here, either stay on your high plank or drop your knees. We're going to do 5 chaturanga push-ups. Breathe in here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. 2 more, up and down. Inhale, up. Last one down. Inhale, up. Down dog, hips up and back. Good. Inhale, reach your left leg up high, bend the knee, open the hip. Draw some circles here and breathe. Good. Square the left hip once again, reach the left leg high. And then exhale, step it between the front two hands, coming into that high lunge on the other side. Taking a moment to kind of find your balance, find that nice strong back leg, and then reach the arms up. 5 breaths here. Shoulders are relaxing down the back, fingertips strong, pointing up towards the ceiling. Open up, warrior two. Back heel spins down. Fingertips away from the center line. Left knee out. Super strong in the legs. Take 2 more breaths here. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, fan the hands down, frame the front foot, step back into the high plank. Once again, either stay in the high plank or drop the knees. 5 chaturanga push-ups together. Breathe in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last one up. Last one down. Good. Come up and through to the downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 breaths here. If downward facing dog does not feel restful for you, please feel free to take a child's pose. Even if down dog usually feels restful for you, but right now you're feeling like you don't want to be doing it. That's fine too. Whatever you need, a few more breaths. Good. Everyone take a little breather. Come to child's pose for 1 breath. And when you're ready, come to the tabletop position and step your right foot wide to the outside of that right hand. Come into a lizard lunge type shape. Send the hips low. Take that left hand down underneath the shoulder. Reach the right arm up, twisting up and away. You can either keep the right arm up, you can add a quad stretch, or you can take the hand to the inner right side and think about drawing the knee and heart away from each other. Whatever feels good today. Not getting too deep into the legs, so the quad stretch just might be too much for now. Or it might feel great. Let's take a few breaths here. Good. Take your hands down to the ground once again, and take your right foot back into your tabletop position. Take both forearms down to the mat. Come into your dolphin, so hips up and back. Straightening the legs as best you can. If it's too much, you can bend the knees just like in down dog. Good. Let's breathe here. Push the ground away. Think elbows towards each other. Breathe for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop the knees. Tabletop. Step the left foot wide this time. Lizard lunge. Same thing as before. Plant the right hand down this time. Open towards the left. Either reach the hand up and back, or just take the hand to the inner left thigh or knee and think heart and knee away from each other. Or of course the quad stretch is there if you did so on the other side. Good. Take your left hand back down again. Come back into your tabletop and come back down to the forearms. Again, come into that dolphin pose. So hips up and back. If dolphin is super challenging as it is, just stay in dolphin. If you want to make this a little harder, take a look. Use your vision to spot the spot between your thumbs. If you can, lean the shoulders forward. Think about tapping your nose towards that spot. Doesn't have to actually tap down. You'll feel when it's hard enough. Good. And then you'll come back up. Do that for 10, for 9, for 8, or just hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh my gosh, this is hard. 2. Last one. And drop the knees. Oh, child's pose. Good. Gently walk the hands towards the knees. Sit yourself upright into a kneeling position. And of course, if kneeling isn't comfortable, you can just take an alternative seated posture. From here, take your right hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. Oh, my arms are so tired, I can barely lift my arm. Pat yourself on the back. Either take the left hand, encourage the elbow back, or take the left hand up the back. See if you can interlace the fingers. Just depends on your body. Good. Either way, wherever you are, side bend to your left. So getting a nice big right side stretch. Think chin away from the chest. Good. Come back to neutral. Take a break. Give yourself a few rolls of the shoulders up and back. And then switch it out. Take that left hand up. Pat yourself on the back. Either right hand encourages the elbow back, or hand can wander up the back. And of course, if you've got like a strap or something like that handy, you can always use that here as a modification. But regardless of which one you're in, chin away from the chest, side bend over to the right. With that elbow up towards the sky, think about creating length. So think elbow up towards the sky, think left hip bone down. Good. And release that again, a few rolls of the shoulder. All right, come into your tabletop once again. If you've got a block or two handy, grab it. I'm going to use two just because I've got it, but you can use one. And you're going to want it on, you kind of see, for some of us maybe on the lower setting, but I think it feels best on the medium setting. So take both of your elbows down to your block or blocks. So if you've just got one, do your best. It's not as easy, but you kind of just take an elbow to the outer edges of your block. And we're going to do our kind of puppy-like posture, sinking our chest to the ground, but using these blocks to elevate the elbows, take the palms together, walk the knees back, and sink the forehead and chest towards the ground. And if you have no blocks at all, you can just do the same position on the ground, taking the elbows to the ground. You just won't get as much depth. You can also do this up against like a counter or any kind of bench or seat that you have. And same as before, instead of letting your belly and everything just kind of completely sink in the back arch, think about a small amount of engagement. So flattening the spine a little bit, and then think about really pressing the forehead down towards the ground. This will actually increase the stretch in the shoulders. Take about 5 breaths here. Good. Gently release this. Walk the knees in a little bit so that you can lift yourself back up and out. Just go ahead and move your blocks out of the way. And then go ahead and come to sit on your butt. We're going to do a little bit of core work before we end today. So coming into our boat posture, I'm going to be modifying my boat to go a little bit easier on my core. But you can, of course, take any version of boat, whether that be shin parallel, no hands, straight legs. Wow, my core is like, no, thank you. Whatever feels good for you. I'm going to start with my hands underneath my thighs, drawing my heart up, and think about knees in slightly. My toes are going to hover off the ground. You can have the toes far off the ground or straight legs, whatever feels good for you here today. And breathe. Let's just take 5 breaths here. Good. Release that. Take a little break. Bring your feet to the floor. So I'm going to give another modification here. We're going to do a version where we're going to be twisting side to side. So again, you can do that in any version of the boat, whether that be shin parallel, straight legs, toes to the ground. The easiest version will be feet flat on the ground, a little bit away from the body. That'll make this a bit more stable, but you're still going to get plenty of core work, especially if you've, if the core hasn't been something that you've been focusing on, then this might be what's best today. So take whichever version of boat that you would like. Find your position here, reach the fingertips forward, a little tiny bit of a lean back, not super far. Straight spine, inhale. As you exhale, take your right hand, open it towards the right, tap the ground, and then take it back up. Exhale, left hand taps down over towards your left, and back up. And you can see we're moving pretty slow. Go ahead, keep going, right hand taps. Go at your own pace here, and a few things to focus on. Don't make this just your left arm opens and your body stays the same. Otherwise, you're not getting that twist sensation, right? You need to make sure as you twist, you're twisting using your core and then coming back. Good. And you can tell the difference. You can feel it. You can feel if you're just kind of doing that little cheat method, or if you're using your core to twist and hold the body. If you feel a little trembling in the core, good. That's great. Keep going. We've got 10, 9, and of course, if you're in a harder version and you're like, oh my God, take your feet to the ground. 8. If your feet are earlier on the ground and you're suffering, well, suffer with me. 7, or take a break, of course. 6, it's always implied. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, and release. Take the soles of your feet together, knees wide. From here, let the feet stay far away from the body. And just take the arms, kind of lie them onto the inner thighs or inner kind of shins here. Encourage the knees down and just slowly fold, just a little bit. Doesn't need to be super deep, keeping a nice long spine. Using your arms as leverage to kind of encourage the knees open and down towards the ground. I kind of wrap my hands around my ankles and use that to pull myself and kind of counter leverage the knees. And just breathe. Good. All right, let's release that. Take your hands behind you. Bring your feet to the floor. We're going to do our reverse tabletop. So either fingertips in or fingertips away, just depends on the body. You can kind of see whatever feels more natural to you. Now from here, spread the toes, spread the fingers. Think about drawing the heart open even from the start, and then scoop the belly up. Think about really squeezing. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs towards each other, and breathe. We're holding 10, 9, either chin towards the chest or head drops back. 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the hips to the ground. Take a little breather here. Maybe stay cross-legged. A few rolls of the shoulders. Good. We're going to do one more of those. Take the hands back behind you, feet to the ground. Again, think about opening the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, press through the feet, scoop the belly up, hips up off the ground. Breathe here. 10, 9, don't hold the breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips to the ground once again. Now from here, we're going to do a little bit of a hip stretch. So I want you to take your legs into a cross-leg position with the right leg in front, but then open it. So walk the feet away from the body until the left shin is parallel with the front. So almost like your left shin is in a pigeon type shape. Good. And they can even go further than this, but this is a good place to start. Sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, just gently forward fold into this. This should feel like a nice little hip stretch, nothing too deep, but also not nothing for most of us. If this is a nothing hip stretch for you and you have more open hips, please feel free to take any alternative hip stretch, pigeon, anything like that will work. We're going to take 5 breaths here. And this is a really nice position to take, just like every day, especially if you're sitting at a computer before you go to bed or right when you get up, just kind of sit in this kind of gentle hip opener. Good, and then come on back up, and we're just gonna switch it out. So just take the left leg in front, and again, walk the feet away from the body until your right shin is parallel, just like it would be in a pigeon type posture. And whenever you're ready, again, just forward fold into this. You can relax, take the forearms to the ground, or if you've got a block, if you're far from the ground, that's fine too. Good. Gently release that. Come on back up. And then go ahead and come to lie on your belly. I am not going to lie on my belly as it is not comfortable for me, but I can still demonstrate it for you for the most part. We're going to do our chest opener. So lying flat on your belly, just take your right arm out to the side and have your elbow in line with your shoulder. And your arm is in a goalpost shape. So I can get into the final shape. Then from here, you're going to roll over onto your right side. So stacking that left hip up on top of the right. Your left hand is in line with your chest to kind of encourage that roll onto the right side. And keep thinking about that right arm pressing down into the ground. So giving ourselves a nice big chest opener here. And there's a lot of variation, of course, if you know any other leg position, like bending the knees or one knee. You can, of course, take that at any time. Good. To come out of this, just roll back onto your belly and you'll switch sides. So take your left arm out into that goalpost shape and then roll onto your left side using your right hand in line with your chest. Stacking the right hip up this time. And this should feel like a stretch. It should not feel painful. Every once in a while, I find in this stretch that I kind of enter it in a way that feels like I'm kind of restricted by maybe my joints or my bones. What can kind of help if you do feel that kind of block sensation and not a stretch sensation is just kind of move the position of that left arm. So maybe the hand needs to walk a little higher up, or maybe it needs to walk a little further away or down. And kind of play with the position slightly until you find, okay, like I'm feeling a stretch. That's what we're searching for here. Not I'm pulling my tendons. Take another few breaths here. Good. Now release this, roll onto your belly once again, and then just flip yourself over like a pancake and come to lie flat on your back. Good. Now we're going to come into our final resting pose in just a moment here, but we do have a little bit of time. So if you have any other postures that you want, if you feel like you're interested in any kind of spinal twisting, then take your time. Move through a posture or two for the next minute or two. And it's a good time to check in with the body to kind of understand what it might need or want, what it feels like it has not yet received that it would like. And if you're not sure where to start and you just want to do something, you can either just come into Shavasana or you can maybe take soles of the feet together. Knees wide is a really nice one. And as you move through these final postures on your own, take some time to maybe center yourself. Let go of the practice and anything that felt good or bad or hard. No judgment. Just noticing what the body is capable of, its strength, and how it supports you every day. And as you unwind, perhaps feeling closer to your Shavasana, feel free at any time to lengthen your legs down your mat and your hands by your sides. And if you need anything else to feel comfortable, like a pillow or a blanket, then of course that is an option that is always there for you. Whenever you feel ready, closing the eyes. Starting to gently breathe in and out through the nose. Looking for full breaths in. Thinking about filling the lungs, expanding the rib cage in all directions as you breathe. Make sure that your jaw is relaxed and your forehead is soft. And whenever you're ready, we're going to wake the body up slow. And if you feel like you want more time here, please feel free to stay. But if you're ready to get back up off the mat soon, then start by wiggling the toes and fingers. Maybe drawing some circles with the hands, waking up the wrists. Maybe do the same with the feet, waking up the ankles. And then reach the arms overhead, bend the knees, take the feet to the ground. And as you exhale, just roll yourself over to the side. And with your next inhale, slowly, using your hands to support you, come up nice and easy. Maybe the head comes up last. Sitting up nice and tall, take the hands onto the knees. Close the eyes. And before ending your practice today, just take one moment. Take this next breath for yourself, no rush. And when you're ready, open the eyes. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.